How is it that a movie from the 1970s could look so amazing you'd swear it was shot in 3D? Well, it wasn't. I'm talking about Steven Spielberg's Jaws. The original was never made for 3D cinemas. Jaws 3D tried to gimmick later and it sucked. But Spielberg's Jaws has always been a three-dimensional film, even without the use of 3D glasses. That's why I'm here to talk about why the brand new 4K 3D render, supervised by Steven Spielberg himself, blew me away. This isn't going to be your typical review. I'm here to sink my teeth into exactly why the 50th anniversary 3D release of Jaws holds up next to modern giants like Avatar. I know what you're thinking. 3D, that's a relic, a gimmick, dead and buried. And yeah, most of the time you'd be right. But relics remind us why they were iconic in the first place. Kind of like me. Case in point, I watched the newest Fantastic Four in 3D earlier this year, and I can't remember a single shot that really stuck with me. Probably when Sue Storm gave birth. That was a very beautiful scene, by the way. And maybe when they kind of went to go see Galactus, but a lot of that was green screen and, I don't know, CGI that probably won't age very well in like 5 years. Compare that to Jaws, a film from the 70s, which had me captivated from start to finish as if I had never seen it before. I watched it in 3D with D-Box seats, and let me tell you, I loved it. The D-Box wasn't annoyingly shaking me around or anything. It was just as immersive enough to feel like I was earning my sea legs. For context, I've seen Jaws in theaters multiple times. I've caught it in IMAX a couple years back, and IMAX gave me an incredible sound experience, the kind that makes you feel like you were surrounded by water. I remember turning my head left and right and, doing that thing where you close your ears and open them up real fast with your fingers, and it literally felt like I was at the beach. It was amazing. But this new 3D conversion, well, I watched it in a regular theater with 3D imagery and a D-Box seat, but it made me feel like I was watching Jaws for the first time through like a window. Like I was there. I could just grab the fishes. I could grab the bitten legs that, Jaws was leaving behind. Here's the key. The 3D wasn't a gimmick. It was an extension of Spielberg's original version. Spielberg has always been a dimensional filmmaker. He uses deep focus photography, which is also known as deep staging. That means action happens in the foreground, the middle ground, and the background, all in sharp focus. The frame feels sculpted, alive, and layered. Even on a flat screen, Spielberg was basically shooting it in 3D before 3D glasses. Think of the 4th of July beach scene, the crowd, the chaos, Brody searching. You feel like you're in the water with him. Or the opening attack, Chrissy's legs twisting under the surface as Bruce closes in. In 3D, it felt like I was looking into, again, a living aquarium. And sometimes the movie even echoed classic gimmicky 3D shots, except Spielberg did it naturally without the gimmick in mind. My biggest takeaway, especially as a filmmaker myself, is that if you're not shooting with this level of depth and intricacy, your movie risks feeling flat. A lot of modern blockbusters, especially Marvel films, lean on costumes and CGI, but forget the backgrounds and foregrounds. The layered reality are what will stick with you. In fact, I would honestly pay whatever money needed to go see Citizen Kane in 3D. I honestly think that it's a testament to that kind of cinema where maybe Seven Samurai in 3D would actually kick ass. Spielberg never forgot that element. That's how he was birthed into cinema, knowing those rules and having those inspirations in mind. That's why a film from 1975 can outperform a 2025 superhero movie in 3D. All of that to say that this 3D experience didn't just remind me why I love Jaws, it reignited my love for movies themselves. It made me want to start making videos again, to sink my fangs into more films that prove cinematography matters. So if you're watching this and this is my first video ever, well, you could thank this movie for that. It literally made me want to come back to life and, sink my teeth into more movies like this. Jaws will always be one of my favorites, and while some might dismiss it as that old shark movie, it continues to prove its relevance. The characters are iconic, the tension still works, and with this 3D conversion, it just feels so timeless. So if you get the chance to see this on the big screen, especially in 3D or D-Box, I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. If you like this, hit subscribe, tap the like button, and join me as one of my filmmakers of the night. Gracias.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine.